everyone, and welcome back to Royal Sisters. Now, some of you might be wondering why Rielle is not with me, and the reason for that would be because um, I am part one of our how I edit my videos mini-series, I guess I could say. So for this video, it will just be me, and for part two of the video, which would be Rielle, it will just be her. And so before we started this video, I just wanted to give you guys a brief overview about my editing in general, my editing process rather, and I am going to just plainly say it, and I'm gonna do it over a game of TOH to make it a little more interesting. And yeah, I'll just go do that before I show you guys my editing interface and a few other fun facts. So without further ado, let's get started. So my editing process is probably composed or consisted, I guess, with 5 stages. So the first stage would be searching for music. Now the first stage, it really depends on how long my footage is, but recently I haven't been in the mood a lot to repeat music in my videos, so I would normally use different music when one finishes playing. And if the footage is not too long and the options at InShot will suffice, then I usually omit the step. But if my footage is very long, like the Wave 2 quests that I edited, the musical note and the lighthouse one, I had to look for some music because I ran out of options in InShot. Now there is music in InShot, just that after I used the music that I liked, I felt like there were no more that I liked so far, and so I had to go online to look for more options. Now the second step, or the first step depending on how long the footage is, would be the cutting, the trimming, speeding, adjusting the volume of the clips, of the music. If I have to mute them, then I will do so. And this is probably the most boring part. Now, it's the most boring part because, well, like, even if your footage is not even that long, but it's very complicated, the process is gonna feel like it takes forever. Besides, you're not adding any of the edits that you would really like to, so sometimes it gets pretty tedious and pretty tiring and draining. But once that's done, I move on to the next stage, and that is adding my personal edits. My personal edits consist of the memes, the GIFs, the stickers, the text, and more. And usually this is the most fun part for me because I get to customize and meme or like pull mischievous things depending on what's happening. And the next step after that is pretty self-explanatory. It's proof watching. In proof watching, I basically just, after I finish the previous steps, I just go back to the entire video and I rewatch the entire thing. Now sometimes, if I am really short on time, I omit this process sometimes, just that I don't recommend it because it can be funny to look at your inconsistencies, but at the same time, you'll only realize those mistakes until after they are published on or across YouTube. And well, yeah. And after I proof watch it, I can now save and export it from my editing platform. Now, the process is pretty long, but it works for me because before I used to do all of these steps mixed in. So when I edit it, whatever I come across, if I come across a clip that needs adjustment, or if I come across a part that I feel like I want to add text and stickers in, I would do it all at once. So I decided not to do that anymore because I have found it a little less tiring when I do them separately. Also because I'm not like multitasking in a way, and I'm focused on one thing. So I mean, if you guys want to try it out, you can go do that. But it's pretty long. But I do guarantee that once you get the hang of it, it works. Just that some of these, especially the second step, the one with cutting and trimming and all, can get pretty boring when you do it and when you have a really long footage. But it pays off, guys. So yeah. Okay, I won't drag you guys for any longer. Now let's get to the editing interface. So this is the editing platform, and it has a gradient sort of toned down color when you first launch the app. And if there are any of you wondering why the window is the size of an iPad, now this is how it looks like when you add the clips, or when you finish selecting them from the array that it gives you. And before I get into anything, I just wanted to say that this is not sponsored. And anyways, the things I'll be saying today are the tools that I like a lot, the ones that I use the most, what features I would like to be added, and the things that I dislike, and overall my entire summarized review about it. So to start, some tools that I like a lot are the sticker tool. Now this is like self-explanatory. I like it a lot because it helps me add memes, stickers of different kinds. There are a huge amount of options in here. There is a police icon, you know, rielle. There's a police icon, there is a cutting icon, which is just adorable, and there is another one here with tears waving left and right, apparently. And there is the GIF button. It has a search bar where you can choose if you want to search for stickers or if you want to search for GIFs, and I think that that is very convenient, since if you just stick to the current one here, it's going to be very hard to look and search for your stickers. And the next thing that I like is something that this plus icon does. Now I don't like the plus icon itself, but when you click the plus icon, it gives you an option to either add a video or a photo or a blank. I like the blank icon, or what it does rather, because I don't have to save a photo, copy it, or screenshot it if ever I wanted to add a break in between my clips. It automatically adds a blank picture already for me. Now how I color this is I basically just click on the clip and then click canvas, background, and then whatever color that you choose here is the color that it will become. The next and the last option that I will be tackling for today will be the filters option. Now the filters feature allows you to add filters or effects, it depends, but in here you have a wide variety of basics. You have glitches, fades, beats, retros, and more. And in the filter, you can have different ones like pink, ginkgo, vintage, cinema. Now I don't use a lot of these all the time, but I do really like its conveniency, especially because if the lighting of the video is really off, or if it doesn't really match with the others, you can kind of use it to adjust the color, or to kind of color grade, if I hope I'm using the terms right. Now moving on to the tools that I like to use the most. Now the first one is probably self-explanatory. Well, honestly, so are the rest, but the first tool is the split clip tool. Now I like this because I don't have to go to the gallery or the Photos app in order to trim or crop the video clips. I can just go to the part that I would like to take out. Let's just say I would like to take out this part. I press split, I click on the clip, and then delete it, and it is cropped out. Moving on to the next one. The next one is the volume feature. Now, there's nothing that is absolutely special about this. It's just that sometimes when I add music to my clips, it's like very loud. And to avoid the process of having to split the music and then make it louder again at another point where the original music's volume goes lower, I would just boost the volume of the clip so that, you know, it lessens the loudness of the music, especially the part where it reaches its climax. So I would just drag it like that. But anyway, the last feature that I wanted to talk about would be the music feature, or the music icon over here. Now I like this a lot because you can choose from effects. In the popular one, there is the bleep, which is really convenient. You don't have to search on it. And also, there are also built-in tracks. Now there are multiple things to choose from here. Personally, I have even found some of my favorite songs that I listen to a lot nowadays from this area and from editing videos. I like the one from Carl Storm. I like Lay Down Beside You and With You in the Morning. You will find those two songs very frequent in my edits, but I really like it because it already immediately gives you the credit over here. You can even copy it to your clipboard, and all you have to do is press use and it immediately applies to your video. Another thing is also that if you're satisfied with the options in InShot, if you don't need that much music, this is useful because you don't have to search for too much music online or worry about having to do royalty or having to sign up and pay for anything. Now, the things that I dislike among the app is around the same point as the ones or the features that I'd like to be added. But basically, the only thing that I dislike about InShot across the laptop would be that it responds more to the trackpad than it does to the mouse. I got used to using the external mouse just because I feel like it allows me to move a little more or gives me more space as compared to the trackpad. And so sometimes when I'm editing on just the app, I have to use the trackpad, and well, it's not a very big problem, just that I would hope and like to see in the future that it's more responsive to the mouse. But obviously it can only happen if they develop a laptop app for InShot. Now, another additional one that I wanted to say would be that maybe this is because this is an iPad app, but across the laptop it is a bit hassly, because if, let's say, I want to delete a clip, I have to press delete right here, and I can't press the delete on my keyboard directly. So as you can see, it does not allow me to do that, and deleting this clip can only happen or be allowed when I press the delete button. Overall, if you're not looking for a very heavy editing app, and if you like something that's user and beginner friendly, then InShot is probably a good option to consider. Just that you may or may not be able to download it on your laptop depending on what you're using, and you might have to edit on either an iPad or a phone. Now, as we all know, it's sort of difficult to edit on the phone as compared to the laptop. But if you are able to get it on your laptop by whatever means, then go for it. So that will be the end of today's video. It was pretty much just a chill, very talkative video. I hope that you guys still enjoyed though, and I don't think this video will be very long, at least from right now. My raw footage is pretty long though because I had a lot of bloopers and retakes, but I hope that you stay tuned for part 2. That will be Rielle's part. And mild spoilers, we did not go with a very similar style to filming the how I edit videos. So if I talked about the things that I like and more, I think that she may or may not do something different, and that gives you more of a reason to go watch it. So when it comes out, go watch it. So I forgot to say here to go subscribe, like this video, hit those post notification bells, and once again, please do stay tuned for Rielle's video. Rielle, when you see this, I have very, very high expectations of your video, so it better measure up. Joke lang.